that's me. Hi!
Yeah.
Hello! I'm Haley, and this is Taya, and welcome to Haley and Taya Rip Up Supernatural, and also start over, and also sometimes talk about other stuff podcast.
Also known as HATRUSA, if you say it right.
Yeah.
And this week we are talking about Season 2, Episode 11, Playthings. It originally aired on January 18th of 2007 and was written by Matt Whitten, who also wrote No Exit from earlier this season.
And that's it.
That's
Somehow,
it. Somehow that's it.
I am curious.
He was a supervising producer, which probably is why he wasn't writing, but
Okay, so I was wondering if maybe it was the director that made this so fun. And I am seeing that the director, who is Charles Beeson, directed The French Mistake as well. So we could have a little bit of that.
And then season 15, my guy left for a while.
Yeah, he did. But
he was like, "I'll be here for a bit. Bye."
But this was his debut directing on the show.
Yeah.
So my man's popped off. Before we hop into our summary today, I have a few trigger warnings, which I realized while we were recording the episode, or watching the episode, that we have used particularly sparingly in the show, which has surprised us. But today's trigger warnings are that in the beginning of the scene of the episode, there is an incredibly graphic death in the beginning, which I just said the beginning 3 times, but that's okay.
Yes, it's a snapped neck, and it's incredibly detailed.
It's incredibly detailed and very frightening.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
It's upsetting, but I think it really set the episode though. And then there is an on-screen framed suicide. It is a hanging. And there is I didn't know how to trigger warn, how to write this one, but I've written forced drowning, ?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a child who almost drowns, and when she comes up for air, at one point she is pushed back under and held below the water.
Yeah, and the scene...
And all of these are shown.
Yes.
So.
And that is a scene that we have referenced before in the show, in HATRUSA, because it's fucked up Taya for years. So
it really has.
But today's episode, guys, oh my god, it fucking slapped.
It was so good.
I don't think I've had this much fun with an episode since Dead in the Water, and maybe that's just because I'm me and I'm who I am, and I'll talk about that a little bit later.
You'll love a drowning.
You'll love a drowning. So today's summary, I have done the thing where I write it down again. I think I'm going to try to do that regularly because it helps. So, immediately we meet twin blonde girls sitting on a staircase banister, Maggie and Tyler. Maggie swears and Tyler repeats it, hinting that Maggie is the bad apple. Tyler plays with dolls, finds one with its neck twisted, then hears a scream and someone has died. The same way that the doll she found the doll.
Yes.
Spooky. The death is very scary. Cut to Sam and Dean. Sam is talking to Ellen on the phone about Ava, and they get the word about a job, a Connecticut hotel with mysterious deaths. They go there and meet Susan and book a room, clearing up the fact that they are not lovers yet again. They meet Sherwin, the bellman, and go to their room. Do some research. Oh, rewind. When they arrive, they find a funky little cross along the fence of the hotel. While they're exploring, they find more of those crosses. They find Susan packing, and they see her dolls. Dean gets back at Sam by telling Susan that he has a doll collection at home, and asks if they can check it out, because it would really make Sam's day. Tyler tells Sam that the dolls were all Grandma Rose's toys. Grandma Rose is sick and very old. Another person dies while Tyler plays dolls in the hotel replica. Sam gets fucked up about this and gets drunk, and makes Dean promise to kill him if he ever gets out of control. Dean begrudgingly agrees, because Dean thinks that Sam will forget it tomorrow. The brothers break into Rose's room upstairs, and Sam deduces that she has had a stroke, so she can't have done this. But Susan finds them and kicks them out of the hotel. Bad news for her, because Maggie tries to kill her. Oh, by the way, it was revealed that Maggie has been dead the whole time. Rose had been keeping her at bay until she had a stroke. Maggie tries to kill Tyler the same way she died. Sam saves Tyler, Grandma Rose agrees to die and stay with Maggie, and we end with Susan and Tyler moving out, and Maggie and Rose reunited at last playing jump rope in the doll room. And also, Sam tells Dean that he remembers the conversation that they had, despite the fact that he was drunk.
Yes, and so in case it wasn't clear, Maggie did drown in the pool.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. We found out, I also completely skimmed over, Maggie is Grandma Rose's dead sister who drowned in the pool when they were children, and also
Yes.
this hotel has been in the family for years and years and years, and it's been their home. So that's why everything is still happening. And also, I left out the nanny on accident.
Yes, there is a nanny. That is where the symbols that Sam and Dean originally found comes in. She was Rose's nanny, and they were using this. They call it hoodoo. I assume it is hoodoo to protect the house from Maggie. But when Rose has a stroke, hoodoo apparently requires you to be hands-on at like the altar and stuff. She wasn't able to do the upkeep. Maggie comes back.
Yes. So she had been keeping it at bay, and that's why nothing had been happening forever and ever and ever. As I said, fucking loved this episode. But let's hop into my notes, and we can talk about how good this episode was after that. So my first note is excited for this episode for the ghosts. Not gonna lie, and for once, my expectations were not shot down.
Yeah, I was saying, like, you should never go into a supernatural episode expecting things, but, like, I guess this is the episode where you can expect things.
This is, like, the exception. And it's in the middle of season 2 for some reason. Like, okay.
It's just, like, a random season 2 episode.
By, like, a person which was written by a person who only wrote 2 episodes, and like, it wasn't even one that was highly rated for us. But, you know what? Like, okay. Then I have, shut up, there are twins. And then Taya was like, wait, isn't one of them not real? And I said, oh my god, no, one of them is an invisible. I don't know why I wrote ghost. I wrote an invisible.
Yeah. One of them sure is an invisible.
One of them's an invisible for sure. Then I have freaky fucking dolls. No thanks. There is one doll in particular that is shown, which is like, it looks like...
It didn't match the vibes of the other dolls.
Those caricatures of, like, is it, like, homeless caricatures of like the people with the sack, and they look like a sad clown.
Yes,
it was kind of like one of those, and I didn't like it at all. Also, it kind of looked like a marionette puppet, and it was not a marionette. Those are on strings.
Yes.
What's the things that you make talk?
Oh, a ventriloquist.
A ventriloquy puppet, yes. So it was really bad, and I didn't like it. Then I have, no, not the twitching dying man. Because, basically, the graphicness of it is that you, like, see the neck, and there's blood, and also, you see his mouth moving, like, as if he is a fish out of water. Very scary. It's not good.
And there's a lot of blood, and of course Tyler sees it.
Yep. And, like, she's scared, but just kind of, like, walks away.
Like, she's like, her mom's like, get the fuck out of here, oh my god!
And also, that's when we first find out that her name is Tyler, and Tyler is such a cute name for a girl, like, huh? And I mentioned that later, but it's fine, I'll mention it again. Then I have cast Sammy literally going to cry when Sam gets his cast removed. I want Sam to have a cast forever. Oh my god, Connecticut? Road trip to Cornwall, Connecticut? Taya and I are going to take a road trip to Cornwall, Connecticut.
See you there.
See you there. I have a quote from Dean early in the episode when Sam is talking about Ava, and, like, I don't remember exactly what he was saying because we kind of zoned out for a bit, but Dean says that attitude is just way too healthy for me, and I wrote, Dean knows he's fucked up and doesn't care to change. Kind of love that. Like, I don't love it, but it does make for a fun character. Then I have sissy British accents, crying, screaming. Because Dean gets really excited about the fact that they're going to a classic haunted mansion, I think is what he says. And he refers to sissy British accents, and truly, maybe I do kin Dean. This note says, God, the way they purposely made the ghost girl run behind Sam while Tyler ran into him, bitch. The direction. The subtlety. Oh my god! Delicious!
They did good with this one. They just did.
They did so good with this one. My rewrite, I have a rewrite note, which is cut all mentions and references and goofs that Sam and Dean are together, which is then followed by the note, what do you mean we look the type? Because when the assumption is made by Susan saying something about, oh, you look the type, and then saying, so do you want a king bed? And they're like, no, we're brothers. And then Dean immediately goes, wait, what do you mean we look the type? So I wrote, LOL, Dean and Sam look queer, which I made the point, no, they don't. Like, Taya was like, no, they don't. In what world would you look at these two and think, yeah, these are two gay men? And I said...
We acknowledge stereotyping, obviously, but they are extremely straight-looking.
They're very straight-looking, and I did mention, though, Sam, maybe, yes, but only if he was in New England.
Yes.
Nowhere else.
You and if you've never been to or don't live in New England, I'm sorry, I can't explain that any further.
Yeah, sorry.
That one's just lost to you.
Yeah, so then I have that Dan, no? Who's Dan?
Dan? I don't know.
Dean looked tanner in this episode. I don't know if it was, I didn't really notice it in later, but in the beginning scenes particularly, he looked tanner for some reason. Then I have, oh my god, Dean with no jacket on, which also crosses over to Sam, which I mention in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But they both didn't have jackets on in this episode. It was very nice. I love the casual look. I have, me and Dean both pointed out, in the room that they stayed in, there was, like, an old fucking dress, like, draped on the wall, all weird. And Dean and I had another moment where I pointed out something, and then Dean immediately points it out, and I scream and cry because I apparently am Dean Winchester, which is not fun for me.
No.
But Sam just called Dean Butch and said that he looks like he's overcompensating. I am so obsessed with this line. Because the writers, what were you doing? Hey guys, did you want Dean to be queer or not? I don't like the queer baiting. But also, then, like I said, my mention of Sam having no jacket on, I said, oh, I love Sam in this little denim moment. He has this, like, denim shirt on, and it's kind of a look for him. And then I have that Sam begrudgingly saying things is my favorite thing ever, which is a reference to Dean tricking him into saying that he has a doll collection. Dean looks at him and is like, come on, right, Sam? Right? And it's really good. Tyler is literally such a cute name for a girl. I'm gonna lose my marbles. And then followed by, when you're a creepy doll-loving kid and you hum Ring Around the Rosie.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really just, like, the perfect marriage of tropes there.
Yeah, there was a lot in this episode that was, like, so written for Haley, too.
Yeah, like, I was the kid on the playground who was like, oh my god, did you know that Ring Around the Rosie was about the Black Plague?
It's like, yeah, we know, Haley.
Like, yeah, Haley,
you told
we
us
know.
Last week.
Like, Haley, go away. Go read your fucking Titanic books, idiot. But I have drunk Sam moments. He's sad.
Oh,
Sam's
right.
sad drunk moments. Sam is a sad drunk. I think that should stay canon in all Supernatural content ever.
He's just going through it so hard and, like, not at all processing like, in a healthy manner.
Right. He's, like, a sad drunk, but also a little bit of a goofy drunk, because when Dean comes in and tells him to do something, Sam just goes, you're bossy.
Yes. You're bossy.
Like,
he becomes like a child.
Yes. Jared Padalecki.
Like a petulant child.
Say what you will about Jared Padalecki, but he
and
really...
I will.
And I will. But he really does give some of Sam's performances his all. Like, some of his Sam moments are just absolutely fucking peak. I have a quote from Dean, Dad's an ass. And then I have another quote from Dean, well, I'm not dying, okay? And I quoted it, Dean 2007, because, give it a year, bud.
Literally.
Not the old portraits on the wall, the antique rugs, the old chandeliers. I'm obsessed. They really did their everything to make this haunted hotel look like a haunted hotel. They did everything and anything that they could.
Yeah.
I then have a piece of a conversation between Sherwin, right? That's his name? Yes.
Sure.
Sherwin, the bellman, and Dean Winchester, where Sherwin says something about them not being Susan going through a hard time, and Dean says, "Oh, really?" And then Sherwin says, "Yeah. Would you be leaving the only home you ever really knew?" And Dean says, "Wouldn't know. Never really had one." And it's just kind of like brushed off because Sherwin doesn't know this man. Sherwin doesn't know his story. But not gonna lie,
Yeah.
that line kind of hurt a little. Like, if you dig into it, and give it the good writing that it deserves, and
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge Dean Winchester's trauma, which he does not do. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's something that can be dug into in the rewrite. My next one is Fade to Black followed by Slow-Mo Pan, iconic, which we talked about. It was just, as good as this episode was,
They used a lot of goddamn slow-mo.
there was a lot of slow-mo and a lot of weird, questionable, like, camera angles and, like, transitions, I feel, which
Mm-hmm.
can be attributed to Supernatural just being Supernatural. Also, it could be, like, a product of the times. We've got
Yeah.
late 2000s, like,
Yeah,
being
we are
late
watching, like, a
2000s.
lot of late 2000s TV right now. We're just watching Supernatural, so...
Yeah. So then this is the important note for this episode is no. Supernatural, come on. You had me. You really had me, and you had to throw in the magic black lady stereotype, huh?
Yeah.
Because when they find out about the nanny because Sherwin is showing Dean all of these old family portraits and points out, "Oh, that was Rose as a child, and that's her Nanny Marie." And Nanny Marie is a black woman, and she has the cross necklace of the thing that they keep finding around the
It's kind of
hotel.
like a plus sign with a dot on each.
Yeah, they call it a quincunx.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's anything. I didn't check.
Quincunx. It's
Okay.
it's just a geometric pattern consisting of 5 points arranged in a cross. It's giving me a picture of a dice for an example.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's not. Apparently, it's got some astrological stuff.
Yeah,
But,
I've seen that.
yeah. So, like, that we don't love that because we've already talked relatively at length about the stereotype trope of Magic Black Lady,
Mm-hmm.
with Tennessee.
Missouri.
LOL.
Tennessee.
They're both states. Missouri
Usually
and Tennessee
usually
are both
Mississippi.
states.
Oh my god.
Okay. Anyway, then I'm not here for the scary old lady trope, thank you, and that's when they went up to see Grandma Rose. Taya referred to it as a thankless role, and I would agree with that. But also,
Someone had to play it.
someone had to play it, and she did a really good job of being a very scary old lady.
Yeah.
Dean was so ready to poke this old woman with a stick.
He was.
Sam's like, "I think that she had a stroke," and Dean's like, "What if she's faking it?" And Sam's like, "What do you want me to do? Poke her with a stick?" And Dean gets this look like he's thinking about it, and Sam's like, "We're not poking her with a stick, Dean." Really good. Tyler, enough. Maggie is imaginary is where we find out that Maggie is fake. Well, not fake, but not.
She's real, but she's not
real, but she's not alive. Dude, the creepy playground movements are really doing it for me, not gonna lie, is my next note, because
Of course they are.
it was, oh my god.
Did we fully explain how the house works?
No. Would you like to
I
take
can explain that. Yeah, pretend this is an early section of Lore Library. So they have this giant dollhouse that's an exact replica of the hotel, and every room, and essentially Maggie just uses the dolls in like a very like what are they called? Like a voodoo doll? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
What it's called?
That's what it's called.
I don't know how. That's not. I don't know if there's another name for those. In a very voodoo doll like manner. Doesn't need like clothing or anything. But if there's a doll representing someone within the hotel and she says snaps its neck, that person dies.
No, they're straight up just called voodoo dolls.
Okay. That's where the hanging comes in. The doll is hanged. Doll is hanged, and then the person likewise is hanged. But so Maggie manipulating the swing set manipulates the one in real life as well. So there's a lot of back and forth shots in that scene of, like, on the dollhouse, the little toy swing set moving.
And Tyler just sitting there having to watch it. Oh my god.
Yeah, Tyler, I don't know, fully understands what's happening with it, but she is watching.
Yeah, really good. Then I have Taya called one of the brothers tackling her. Taya is so smart because I didn't mention how Maggie tries to kill Susan, the mom. It's while the playground movements are happening, Susan just gets really fucking scared and like kind of shell shocked, just standing there, and then Maggie like
the car
starts and drives the car forward, and Sam comes out of nowhere and fucking tackles Maggie to the ground.
Yeah,
not Maggie.
She's
sorry,
just
Susan.
Standing there looking around, and I was like, they're gonna tackle her, right? That feels like what they're gonna do.
And it's like, of course they did, because they didn't leave. It doesn't matter if they're kicked out. You really think the Winchesters are gonna leave?
No, I'm surprised they don't get, like, in trouble for trespassing more often.
I know, but they never will.
No, they never will.
Then I have, oh my god, yes, the she's going to stay with me forever trope, my favorite, absolutely delectable, delicious. I'd like to tangent here.
Go for it.
As I said previously, this episode was catered for me. And I think I've, again, mentioned this previously in HATRUSA episodes, but this episode really, like, there's been bits and pieces in episodes that cater towards me, but this episode was like a culmination of all of them. Because you've got the ghost girl. You've got the girl who sees the ghost girl who's the same age as the ghost girl. You've got the fact that the ghost girl died by drowning on accident. You've got the fact that somebody knows the ghost girl exists and like is trying to hide her. You've got the fact that the ghost girl wants somebody to be staying with her because she's lonely. This exact trope is present in three of my favorite books of all time. The first being my most favorite book ever, which is Bad Girls Don't Die by Katie Allender. 10 out of 10 book. You should go read it if you haven't. Where there is a girl whose family moves into an old house, and the younger sister finds a doll, and the doll has a ghost attached to it. Huh? Great. Oh, also it has creepy dolls, this episode. Then you have my second favorite book of all time, Deep and Dark and Dangerous by Mary Downing Hahn, where there is a girl who died in a lake, and this girl goes there with her, I don't remember if it's her little sister or like her little stepsister, but it's her little sister nonetheless, or her cousin. It might be her cousin. But it's a younger girl who's related to her, and she starts seeing the ghost, and I think her name is Sissy. And Sissy died in an accident in the lake and is sad because she's lonely and wants somebody with her, and also wants revenge because nobody told anybody about the fact that she died on accident because they were kids and they were scared. And then you have the only Goosebumps book that I have ever read all the way through, which is also therefore my favorite Goosebumps book, which is The Curse of Camp Cold Lake, wherein there is a girl who drowned in the lake and is now haunting the camp because she wants to kill another girl at the camp so that she's not lonely. Like, it's such a trope, and it's my favorite, and I'm there for it, and it's what this entire episode was about. Thank you, Supernatural. You've done it. You've done it for me. Tangent over. Fun fact, Maggie was one of my maybe names. Just wanted to bring that up in here, because I think that's fun. Then I have, Maggie was her sister. She drowned in the pool. I'm insane. Taya has mentioned that the colors are very haunted New England, and they are so right. Usually our complaints about color and shading and lighting in these episodes are that they're like dull or grayscale, and it's just like weirdly done, but it worked so well for this episode.
Yeah, there's something about, like, especially like this, I don't know when this is supposed to take place, but it feels like fall, or like about to become fall. And if you've ever been to New England, like, yes, there's bright colors, but especially like when it's rainy and stuff, it's very like desaturated and gray. And there was something about the way, like, they had some dark, like, other colors. Like, Tyler and Maggie are always in these red blazers that I think are blazers and or sweatshirt, like, sweater vest kind of things that must be a school uniform. And it's, like, a deep, like, red. And there was something about, there was something about the colors that just felt very, like, yes, this is New England. This is haunted, like, academia, like, it's that vibe. Yeah. So for this episode, it really worked because it was like, you're in New England, you're in a haunted, like, big house with lots of wood everywhere. You know, just, like, the vibe is right.
It's a good vibe. I am so glad that I was born in New England.
Yeah, when you left New England, you were like, I remember that was one of your complaints when you left New England for college. You were like, I miss just New England.
I was like, I'm not cut out for this shit. I belong here. I belong in my haunted little area. Yeah. It's a good time. We've then got Maggie holding her under. Oh my god. Which, again, that's the forced drowning, but holy shit. Because at first I was like, oh, she's not actually, like, drowning her. She manipulated her into drowning herself. But then Tyler gets up, and Maggie pushes her back under, and I was like, oh, bitch. Then I've got Sammy saving a child, and then I've got, it's a key smash, screaming, crying, throwing up. Winchester's with kids really gets me. Except for John. Fuck him. Fuck John, fuck Mary. I just mean Dean and Sam. Then I've got this culminative note. I bring up, was the purpose of this episode to show that Sam is hurt by the fact that people around him keep dying and getting hurt, and then giving him someone, a child, to save? Because that really feels like it's the crux of the whole episode.
I think it is, and I think it extra is because Dean later says, like, I could have saved them, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I wanted you to save them. And it's like, no, you couldn't have, Dean. You were too late. You dumbass.
Yeah. It's... Oh, God, I love Supernatural. I don't love Supernatural. I hate Supernatural. I love HATRUSA. I love our remake. Then I have the note that is very important, I think, and it's that Sam has no ass. He's wearing a pair of jeans in the last clip scene, and he turns, and there's no ass. The jeans are just bagged. And it was really funny to me that Sam has no ass. And I think that Sam should have no ass in the rewrite.
So we have to hire someone with no ass.
We have to say, like, in the audition notes or whatever, in, like, the character call, actor must have no ass. Actor must be proud of the fact that they have a flat ass. Or something, like...
If have ass, do not apply.
If have ass, no.
No.
Then I have that Dean just called Susan a MILF, because he did. He said he suggested that Sam should have gotten some MILF action.
Hated it.
And finally, ending on the scene of the ghost girls playing in the fucking room with the creepy dolls. No. Absolutely the fuck not. I love this episode.
I know you did.
Oh shit, fuck. I forgot, by the way, supposed to do this before that, the notes. The death count for this episode was 3 on screen and 4 in total.
Yes. You know how it is.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Lore Library.
So, Lore Library. So, the one thing Haley did ask me to look up was, I just got a notification, anyhoozle, was the inn Pierpont, which is, I believe, how you say it, Pierpont Inn, if it was real. No. There is one called Pierpont Inn in Ventura, California.
Oh.
But I assume not related. However, I did find a website that supposedly, I didn't fact check this, that supposedly has, like, all the filming locations for Supernatural. And so the inn itself was Rosemary / Senecal Street Covenant in Vancouver, because that's where they filmed. Of course, it's in
Canada, yep.
And then the location of the pool house, which is completely separate, which kind of makes sense. It has more of a, like, Greek or Roman architecture to it than the rest of the house, which is actually it does look a little bit more old New England, even though it is in British Columbia, is Rio Vista, Vancouver. 2 Vancouver locations. You cannot just go visit this place in Connecticut. And then I did look up this quincunx, however you say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I looked it up on Google and made Google say it for me.
Yeah, so I looked it up on its own, and it is just it's literally a geometric pattern consisting of 5 points arranged in a cross, about 4 of them forming a square, rectangle, and a 5th at its center. So exactly what Haley said. You see it like on a die.
Mm-hmm.
Think of how it's arranged on a die. That's it. That's all it is. And the Wikipedia page had nothing, and I could only find one thing that was not supernatural related that had it related to hoodoo, and it's like someone's blog, and I didn't read it because I was like, I don't think that this is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is one of those things that they just completely made up.
Very fair.
Like, just completely. So that's what I have for Lore Library today.
I really think, genuinely, I think that they took the word quincunx because they thought it sounded kind of scary.
It's highly possible.
Like, they were like, you know what word
do.
sounds very funky? This one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Crack shipping.
Oh,
not to keep using Sam as ship fodder, but we can put him with Susan.
That's not a crack ship. I know we had this conversation last week, Haley, but come on.
So yeah, Sam saves
We can't
Tyler.
call this crack shipping anymore.
Shh. I don't know what else to call it.
Just shipping, I guess.
Ugh, lame. Fine. I'm gonna call it, I don't know. I'll think about this later.
It's not crack shipping if Dean is making commentary about it.
I know, but
yeah, there's not
nothing
like characters.
Else.
There's literally like
what am I supposed
the butler
to say? Dean and Sherwin. Dean and Sherwin get it on backstage.
Yeah.
They fuck in the bar.
Anyway, there's no brought to you by this week, unless you're counting Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah, there was no music this time, and it worked really good, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we needed any pop songs.
Good episode not to have songs with.
Mm-hmm.
So, fave trivia. Nope. Fave wiki. Mine is from the trivia section. It is, Dean hopes that he and Sam can meet Fred and Daphne from Scooby-Doo. That is what will happen in Scooby-Natural.
I hate this show so much.
So
I hate
funny.
it so much. So mine, admittedly, this wiki page it's not super funny. I'm gonna give it that. Mine is something that's occurred on multiple at this point. We just haven't mentioned it. And it's under featured supernatural beings, and it's primordial entity, parentheses, God, comma, mentioned only. And I just think it's very funny when they say something like that. Like, technically primordial entities are multiple things. It's just very funny to me, personally.
Yeah, because he's not even going to be...
Also, I have a question. For the writers of this wiki page. I'm unclear on when Sam is a special child, because he's not listed on this one. Is it only in episodes when he uses his powers?
I think that's the case.
I think it's supposed to be, but I think that they don't
might also just be inconsistent.
I think it's just inconsistent, because I think the goal was to only have it on pages where he uses his powers.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's been consistent. I think it's been on some random pages.
Because despite the fact that this Wikipedia is pretty in-depth, it is fan done, and
yes,
like,
for sure.
I pointed out while looking through this, like, no offense to Wikipedia writers, if you're out there, I'm sorry, but this page, the Playthings page in particular, is rife with typos.
Yeah.
So maybe you should.
Maybe Haley and I will just start editing these during episodes.
Oh my god, what if we just start editing them?
That would be weird. Anyway, next up.
Rating. Hey guys, I give this one a 10 haunted ghost girls out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I love this episode. This is our play like an air horn sound effect or something, because this is our first 10 out of 10. Technically.
Admittedly, yeah. We didn't rate the first 9 episodes, and I believe out of those, the only one that would have been a 10 is Dead in the Water,
which is a very similar episode.
Yeah, this one builds suspense so well. Like, we've talked about this pool scene so many times because it genuinely messed me up, and I thought about it for years. And my only personal complaint is with the nanny Marie, because it's just like one of those unnecessary things. Like, okay, so her nanny was a black woman who also did magic, who has been helping in a way since she taught it to Rose, protect this white family. Okay. But, like, other than that, it's a really good episode. Even if if we're just ignoring some of the weirder camera choices, they aren't that distracting for the most part. Sometimes it's supernatural. They can be very distracting, but they're not. It's well written. It's got some funny moments. It's got some really high tension and icky moments. It's just good, and it's upsetting that it's good.
It's upsetting that it's good because it's supernatural, and also it's like a random fucking episode in the middle of season 2. Like, what's the
Yeah.
huh? What?
Why are we here?
Why are we here? But also, I'm so glad we're here.
On IMDb,
I'm so scared.
This has an 8.3 out of 10.
That's like lower than most of the other episodes that we've had so far.
Yes.
I
so
hate that.
It is lower than last week. It is the, I believe, 6th or 7th. If you're going from, like, the lowest, it's, like, 6th or 7th from the bottom. So Everybody Loves a Clown was lower at 8.1. Bloodlust was lower at 8.2. And No Exit, which was the other one this writer wrote, was an 8.2. And then the other lower one is later in the season. But those are the only ones that are lower than it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the lower ones.
I hate that because this is a good episode and none of you have taste. Fuck all of you.
Well, someone did say 10 out of 10, a personal favorite. This is from Cubs and Culture, who wrote that really good review on last week's episode.
Okay.
From September 12th, 2019. So this is a 10 out of 10. I'm not sure how well received this episode is. I seem to recall a dislike for it among the fans, but to me it is a wonderful riff on the traditional haunted house and or the creepy manor estate. The references to The Shining, i.e. room number, the bar scene, the uses of two girls to make the viewer uneasy are all fun to spot. Likewise, the direction leans heavily into the aristocratic trappings, and this is one of the most stylized episodes of the first couple seasons. Yes, I know Sam is unbelievably eagle-eyed, and sure, the resolution seems a bit rushed, but you have Sam being drunk, and the laughs that entail. Likewise, you have some classic Dean moments to stick. The references to Scooby that round out the very entertaining hour of television. Delightful episode.
I agree.
So true.
So true.
Why is this one named? Yeah, one of these is just, some of these are like just very funny. This one, I think, this one didn't give us a rating, and it's from 2007, and it's good, but ... And they wanted the dolls to talk?
No.
I really enjoyed this episode, but what if the dolls had talked or had opened their eyes on their own, especially with Sam Dean seeing this? I believe that would have been scarier.
It's not a horror movie!
They liked it. They just wanted it to be scarier. And I actually prefer the dolls not, like, doing things. I think it's scarier that just, like, there is a doll that is representative of Maggie, and she just kind of looks at things.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Unsettling. I hated it. I think if they had added in the dolls moving or talking, it would have been a little too
on the
goofy.
nose.
I feel like it.
That's true.
I feel like it would have taken away some of, like, the grounding the episode had.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was my favorite that I forgot about. It's an 8 out of 10. Cornwall CT, 7th of January 2019. I owned a house in Cornwall.
Okay.
In no way would the town allow a company to demolish a historic building.
Oh my god.
The town sits alongside the Houstonic River, I don't know what that is, sorry, with a red-covered bridge, and it's ridiculous to assume they are trying to gentrify their town. Beautiful inn, by the way. I just think that's so funny, because that's the whole review.
I literally love that. This episode's bad because it's unrealistic because I lived in Cornwall.
Because we've gotten a few of these before where someone was like, I was so excited because that's my town and that's not my town. It's so funny. It's always really good.
If they ever did one in my hometown and it clearly wasn't, I'd be like, what's going on? This is not home.
This is not home. This is not accurate. This is an abomination. So I just think it's so funny when people leave reviews and, like, the entirety of the review is something very specific to, like, them or their interests in particular. I really like it.
Yeah, also maybe don't move to somewhere called Cornwall, Connecticut, but that's just me.
It's tiny. It's tiny. We looked it up. It's 1,500 people as of 2020. It's small.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of HATRUSA. Remember to like, comment, review, share. I don't know if there's anything else you can do. Give us a rating. Especially if you're listening on Spotify. Give us a rating. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and I think the other one is review? Something? I forget it already. I'm so sorry. And I will be trying very shortly to get us up on YouTube. YouTube is just a nightmare of processing and uploading and everything like that.
That's okay.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. We're only using word of mouth, and we're pretty darn bad at it. But we're halfway through this season, so we are we are approaching Castiel. So if you're looking forward to that, or a friend is looking forward to that,
tell them.
Hop on board.
Come right on. Oh my god. So do you remember when we were watching? Sorry. Do you remember when we were watching and you were like, oh my god, this child looks familiar when we were with Maggie?
Why did we not look that up?
I don't know, because we forgot about it. Did you watch any of the scary movies?
I don't know if I did.
Well, she was in Scary Movie 4.
Oh my god. Hold on. I'm now looking at Wikipedia pages for... Why does she have a Wikipedia page?
I've fucked the entire order of all of this.
Hold on, I'm looking at their pages.
You all thought that this episode was going to end now. you thought wrong.
You missed out. She was in Tall Tales. She's in Tall Tales. I don't think we've gotten to that one yet.
No, we have not.
But what I'm saying is maybe that's why I thought she was familiar.
That's true.
Because she's in another Supernatural episode.
That's fair.
Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder.
That's where that's what Maggie is in a Bob the Builder episode. Anyway.
Hey, Taya.
Hey, Haley.
You ready for some Dean crime continuity?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, because we get the shapeshifter next episode, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.